Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your Timeless Chakra Reading, brand new series, sorta. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons. Mal, for short, they are my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, 24 years in service. At the time of this timeless recording, I am the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a link available in the description box so you can preview it for free and see the dedication to my mother, who is a Cancerian sun sign that was raised by a crab. Always here to help and serve my beloved crab cakes. I'm Leo rising. That means that I have Cancer in my 12th house, which means as a Pisces moon, man, can I tap into y'all, apparently. I'm also a creator on Patreon. Just saying, a lot of creativity going on over there. If you are a creative type, as am I, highly recommend you looking into Patreon, a subscription service that lets you set your own levels of subscription. You can name them, you give them all different benefits. It's really quite amazing and a wonderful way for some community help to get us through what's going on planet Earth right now, as artists are kinda really needed of all different shapes, sizes, colors, and forms. So I stream there every morning with a cup of coffee in my bathrobe, talking about the day's astrological weather, the spiritual implications, the magical applications. All of my subscribers have access to the extended readings, part 1 on YouTube, part 2 on Vimeo on demand if you want to pay-per-view, or you get all of them past, present, and future as part of your subscription, no matter what level, as well as other goodies and prizes over there. So if you want to take the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon, because someday I will make it perfectly clear I am the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, which means I'm not the only one. So much easier to call me Mal, because that's what my parents named me. And by the way, I'm Mars conjunct Leo rising. Mars and Leo, the Mars angel, the Mark angel. The name Mark comes from Mars, but that being said, this is a new series, a chakra spread. I did chakra checks back in the beginning of the pandemic just for health and balance. I only did it once. There's a lot of cards. It was a little cumbersome. This is only 11 cards. We've got tarot, we've got a couple of healing systems on the table, we've even got Lord Ganesh on the table, so it is a general read. Timeless, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because obviously your moon sign might have more to do with the heart chakra, your rising, I don't know, your solar plexus, right? There's all sorts of different ways you can get information so that you can come into alignment, so that you can heal, so that you can do your own personal healing, spiritual alchemy, whatever you want to call it, on the journey of awakening, the hero's journey, as well as we see if there are some other peoples involved. So both feet on the floor if you can. I'm sure you could try if you wanted to. You might grab cakes and focus on your breath, which is way more important, if you will, to keep you here in the present moment. And I promise you, I will do my best to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace from the divine pantheons, the guides, whatever you want to call them, so that you move from a less leaded timeline, toxic, you'll see, we'll get there, to a more golden, right? From shadow to light, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, illusion for truth, to truth. But by the way, the process of awakening is one of disillusionment, which is why clarity is helpful, and know that we all believe all sorts of shit that just ain't true. True. Let's get down to business then. Please take a nice deep breath. And here we go. Still point. Using the mythic tarot, I call upon my gods of water, the sign of Cancer, powers of the West. Please lower 3 chakras, just 3 of them, please, for the masculine energy, the physical level of power, their relationships in the physical world. We're going to put them down, face down. We're going to build this from the root chakra up to the 8th chakra, but we're going to keep them all face down until we get to that 8th chakra card. So please, what's going on in the root chakra of the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers, because if the cross-watchers apply this information to themselves, they're going to heal. As well as they're going to help the Cancerian they're cross-watching for heal. As well as they're going to help everyone in the Cancerian collective heal, which is an awful lot of people, I would think, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or whatever. So what's going on? Root chakra, tribal dynamic, manifestation, element of earth, groups, tribes, circles of friends, family, your political leaning, your genetic heritage, any 3 or more, it's a tribe, baby. How about second chakra, one-on-one relationship to another person or thing, money, sex, power, addictions, the deadly, well, in the root chakra, it's the deadly sin of hubris, of pride, the grace that heals it is reverence in my book, Words of Grace, as well as in a lot of work of Carolyn Myss's work, and her card's coming up soon. Second chakra, right? The deadly sin of greed, the blessed grace of piety, one-on-one. You see why that one, we set greed for all sorts. What's going on there? I don't know why we're talking graces and shadows, but it feels like we are. So that's that one. And for the solar plexus, their relationship to themselves, their self-image, their self-esteem as a verb, their own gut intuition, their boundaries, their honor code, what they will, what they won't, what they do, what they don't, what they'll stand for, what they won't stand for in the solar plexus. Let's get 4 Daughters of the Moon Tarot, heart, third eye, throat and crown, the interior world, the feminine energy, the goddess energy, the psychological world, second level of power. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Indeed. As I call upon my beloved goddesses of water, the sign of Cancer, powers of the West, please, beloved ones, 4 cards, face down, heart, third eye, crown, emotional power, willpower, mental power, spiritual power, for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. What's going on in the heart chakra there that they need to be aware of? Thank you. What's going on in their throat chakra that they need to be aware of, right? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. What's going on in the third eye for the Cancerian collective and cross watcher, and for the crown chakra, that one popped. So we're talking just real quick, deadly sins, wrath, gluttony, envy, and sloth. So that takes the grace of fortitude to balance wrath, grace of counsel to balance gluttony, the grace of knowledge in the third eye to deal with the deadly sin of envy, and the grace of wisdom to heal, if you like, sloth, which is my favorite deadly sin because you don't have to do much. It's very laid back of a deadly sin. Unlike hubris, which will burn down the village, that's a little bit more than I'm willing to put into anything at this point in my life that way. So let's get the 8th chakra dynamic. It's the star center, the soul center, the upper room. I've heard it called 10 billion things, it seems, in this lifetime alone. Using the Caroline Myss archetype deck, this is the pattern that you are working on. This is the soul power you are alchemizing from shadow to light, light to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy. It beams down the energy, codes to all the other chakras so that you attract what you need to attract and repel what you need to repel in order to do the alchemy. And the free will part of that is that it can be delayed but not prevented. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Are you gonna delay? Next lifetime you wanna come back and do this? I just said that to a Cancerian, a dear friend of mine this morning. How many times do you wanna come back and do this? Just fucking do it, right? So please take a nice deep breath. Still point. All right. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, the angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the general assembly, the higher selves, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above of all involved. Lord Ganesh, by the way, as we're using the Whispers of Lord Ganesh Oracle here, please, what is the dominant 8th chakra archetype going on for the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading, you can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, or I could pop in for a day and go, or less. A season could be literally a 3-month thing, could be a 3-year thing, a decade-long thing, but it's not lifelong because that's a lifetime. That's from womb to tomb, right? Coming in one door until you go out the alpha and the omega. So what's hovering over their head, shifting their electromagnetic fields in their chakra system, what they attract and what they repel in this timeless read. You're a rebel, but you're probably very good. He's a rebel and he'll never be. Excuse the musical flashbacks. They clairaudience for fun and profit. The rebel archetype. More. Oh, Billy Idol back in the day. Woof. Snarl. On the card is written the shadow attribute and the light attribute because all archetypes are neutral. It is a percentage scale from shadow to light. I like using the language of spiritual alchemy from lead to gold. Lead is toxic, gold is healing, and there are 3 atoms here that aren't here. So the process of alchemizing from lead to gold, I think, is a valuable symbolic language. Thank you, Carolyn Myss. Sacred Contracts, brilliant work. Her work saved my life over and over and over again. The shadow attribute, what you don't want to look at or you don't want anybody else to look at, as well as you could be dealing with this in another person, right? So if you're not particularly rebellious, although I've yet to meet a Cancerian, it wasn't even my own mom's got a nice streak of the rebel in her. Rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of pure oppression or fashion. Gee, do you think we've seen that on planet Earth as of late? I don't know, the past 100 years, right? Think of the Revolutionary War, right? That's rebels, revolutionary. Because the light attribute challenges authority to affect social change. I mean, that's only what has ever moved this world forward that way, is rebellion, it seems. And the United States, I'm from New York, if you can't tell, particularly in New York, is a very strong rebel archetype, right? There, the revolutionary, the rebel, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. So I got a touch of it myself. I just don't have it in the sign of Cancer. Sacred Contracts, Carolyn Myss, trust me, there's zodiacs involved, and has informed my readings for clients for decades. So now that we have that, we still got more cards to hit the table, but let's look at what's behind door number 2 in your crown chakra. You have got the Hermit, the wise one, the Kaliach, riding a gray horse over what looks like Stonehenge. I don't know. They didn't write in the book specifically where it is, a stone circle, carrying a wand with a crystal tip to really indicate that clarity and that transcendence. Now look, major arcana card in the crown chakra, the Hermit. This is about your personal connection to spirit, to the divine, to divinity, to the universe, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The nameless Tao, I like calling it, because that takes it out of political, socio weirdness, right? The TAO, not the DOW. One's everything that cannot, be named and unnamed. The other is a chemical company. Although I've seen it spelled DAO as well. You do you. So obviously, to get up into that crown chakra seems to be indicated here, but it's a journey you make solo, not that you won't have help along the way. Third eye, we have got the 9 of Flames, the Wanderer. Now, to have that in the third eye could very well mean a wandering mind. But not all who wander are lost. So it has been said, yes, there is a defensive aspect to the 9 of Wands. This is the 9 of Flames in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, a feminist deck. We see, I believe, a Romani woman with her wagon and her donkey, 9 torches on it, but knowing, sensing, seeing, in this case I would say third eye, that that 10th wand that would make this in this deck the hora, the completion, the dance, the rite of passage, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, weddings, and all of that. Beyond the horizon, the sun, can't tell if the sun's rising or setting, but she's being called in that direction. And I think for third eye, that could be very visionary for a creative thinker. right? Cardinal water means creative water. Cancers are the cardinal water signs. Scorpios are fixed. Pisces are mutable. So there is a creative thing here, but that can be very inspired. But don't be shocked if right away nobody else gets it with the Hermit and the Crown. It's not like, let's make a better type of masking tape. You know, people are probably on that already. I invented Post-its. No, I love that movie. Time after time. So the Wanderer, right? You may have no idea. But remember, I mean, a lot of brilliant spiritual beings and teachers wandered. I mean, Jesus in the desert, Moses in the desert. Apparently, it's a good place to hang out. I mean, no traffic, right? So let's see what's going on in the throat chakra. Willpower, choices, and decisions. Okay, we got a court card here. The Mother of Blades, Libra, which would be the King of Swords in traditional tarot. Now, when it's inside, because this is the world behind your eyes, these 4 cards, it's certainly look and see if you have any planets in Libra. That would be an indication. But it is cardinal air, creative air for a creative water sign. So that your choices and decisions, particularly because of Libra right now, are really going to be based on 7th house dynamic. We're talking about fairness. We're talking about justice, one-on-one relationships, the scale, one thing in relationship to the other. But there's that third point in the center, what I call the still point. Right? Motion does not move through it. It is completely still, yet it is essential to establish balance. But remember, once balance is created, its opposite must be created, which is imbalance. And that's how we grow and heal and evolve. You could absolutely be weighing something in your throat chakra. I mean, this is Skadi. She's an ice giantess from the north and I believe, yeah, the Norse. So, you know, riding a swan, hunting, this doesn't seem inactive, but it does seem like weighing perhaps your relationships, legal contracts. Oh, Mercury retrograde at the time of this recording, right? Make sure that you are making the wisest, most loving, most powerful, fair, and just, because this might be a social justice thing in whatever way, shape, or form it has come into your life, because all of that is being alchemized from shadow to light, light to gold, pain to peace. Heart chakra, emotional power, excellent. And this deck, the 7 of flames, which would be the 7 of wands, but this is not the artwork of the traditional 7 of wands at all, which is why I love the deck so much. This one's called Victory. 3 women on horseback, all galloping in the same direction, juggling balls of fire while the cooling magma, wait a minute, no, it's lava above ground, magma below, so technically this is still magma, galloping in the same direction as the magma is flowing under their feet. There can be a heart passion here. There can be an excitement, that idea of galloping and your heart's desire, element of fire here, sort of igniting this. So to do this fairly, right, and it would make sense, 7 of flames in the heart, 9 of flames, okay, I don't know, but I have a feeling it's over the next horizon while you fly high in your crown. I mean, whatever your crown chakra is doing there, that is so far the dominant major arcana card in the reading, but we got 3 more to go. Solar plexus, physical world, your relationship to yourself. Do you just have the sun in the solar plexus? Come on, crab cakes. This is about integrity. This is about clarity. This is about healing. Be exceedingly honest and ethical in all that you do right now, particularly with the rebel archetype. Because, you know, rejecting legitimate authority out of anger, just take it that if I'm angry, this is not the place and time for me to necessarily take action. Oh yeah, the rebel is part of the action family of archetypes, right? But the other one I think is easier to relate to, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. Like when punk became new wave, which I don't have a problem with it. I was a kid, essentially. So, you know, I wasn't in charge of the fashion at the time or the style. But, you know, there's a big, big difference between the Ramones and the Buggles. Because video did kill the radio star. So integrity, honesty, clarity, healing, right? Healing your own self-image, your own solar plexus stuff, clarifying your boundaries. Because in your second chakra, you got the Emperor. You got Zeus. Now, this could be somebody in your outside world, someone you have a one-on-one relationship with, but it could also be an institution. The Emperor, regardless of the deck, is the amalgamation of all of the kings of the four suits: fire, earth, air, water, cups, wands, pentacles, swords. Play the symbolic language you like. But this is Zeus, right? So you've got Zeus, the king of the mountain, and above that the god, his son of the sun. So we are looking at a divine masculine presence here. Now, this is not about bodily gender at all. This is about the ability to consolidate the fire, earth, air, water with spirits. Is like the spirit king, and Zeus. The ability to throw lightning and change things, bam, in an instant. Because that's what emperors could do. I mean, go watch Caligula. Guccione? Yeah. And apparently, Caligula took care of his nephew Nero. We know how that one went. Past life flashback, anybody? Yeah, that's why, history. It's good to know what it is, because we tend to repeat it in the quantum, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly way that we do. So, tarot and archetype on the table. Your chakras are here, reading you for filth. Oh, except I didn't do the root chakra. Sorry, because it blew my mind that you have 3 major arcana cards. You got the Empress. Kidding me? You got the Emperor in the second chakra and the Empress in your root chakra. You may not see it right now, but the abundance that you need is there. It just may not be, they're giving me the imagery, it might still be either a seed or a sprout or a bud, but it hasn't necessarily blossomed yet. This is Demeter. You'll love her when you meet her, then you'll grind her up and eat her, and that's good enough for me. Ceres, where we get the word cereal from, her Roman name. Mother of Persephone, goddess of spring and lady of summer, queen of the underworld. Everything that I said for the emperor with the kings, same thing goes with the queens here. This is the spirit queen. And you have 3 major arcana in your lower 3 chakras. This is a big deal. Your life, you have what you need. Now think, Mother Earth, Demeter in the root chakra. Come on, stay grounded, right? The Emperor in your second chakra. You got to negotiate, right? But you also have to take command, leadership, or you are dealing with people. This could also be situations, companies, right? Probably more in the root chakra with tribes and stuff like that. That there's something lining up here very, very strongly. There is victory, but throat chakra, the choices that you make, they be just in balance with Apollo in your solar plexus. Pay attention to your solar plexus about when you're getting close to violating a boundary, or if your boundary is being violated, though I tend to find I feel that more in the second chakra when it's somebody else. Yeah. So, that's a lot. So let's get you a chakra reading card from, I guess it's Rachelle, R-A-C-H-E-L-L-E. Otherwise it's Rachel. I don't know her. I hope everybody's got a name in this life. I've got many. Charmin, C-H-A-R-M-I-N, Rockpool Publishing, to ask your higher selves and the higher selves of all involved of these chakras on the table, which is the one to really begin with or focus on, sort of like leverage, right? Let me play with that and see what happens. Although there are 8 cards, 8 chakras here, this actually defines 9 chakras as the one below the earth beneath your feet. I don't go there necessarily, unless I absolutely have to. Please take a nice deep breath. No surprises, right? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Still point. Okay. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What is the chakra? With, a divinatory, oracular aspect and affirmation written in the bookie book, that the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers, their higher selves too, most need to focus in on, to give them leverage, insight, understanding, so that they can heal and align and alchemize this rebel archetype in this timeless chakra read. Card number 23, Truth. I'm thinking that's throat chakra. I'm still new to the deck relatively, which is why I'm reading it out of the book. It's a lot. Don't ask me to remember all of that. It's a lot. But truth, right? Libra in the throat. Apollo is the god of sun, but he's also the bringer of plagues. That's why with him I am like really wicked careful about what are my vows, what are my oaths, what are my promises, right? Where am I on my own ethical journey, particularly when no one else is around. It doesn't count so much if people are watching you, right? What are you doing when no one else is around? But therein lies shadow work, obviously. Card number 23. It sure is throat chakra. Truth. For the teeny tiny little letters. Please take a nice deep breath. Lovely. Still point. Card number 23, Truth, throat chakra. You have called this card into your awareness today as a reminder that the divine truth of the universe is pulsing through you at all times. Oh, pulse through me, truth. There is truth in each moment. However, the challenge is to unravel this truth and understand what it means to you, right? I talked about that a little earlier in this read, didn't I? Nobody wants to be disillusioned, but what's the other choice? It's kind of where the word delusional comes from, right? So everyone has their own perception of the truth, their own personal understanding, and it is not always going to be the same as yours, have you noticed? You are being encouraged to connect and become aware of your truth in a particular situation. It is time to trust and believe in yourself and connect, follow and express the truth that resonates deeply in your heart. And what's in your heart? The Seven of Flames, victory. This is telling you the truth will set you free, but it will probably piss you and other people off along the way. Thank you, Gloria Steinem. You could be feeling confused due to taking on someone else's point of view or their personal truth regarding a situation. Now you're being encouraged to reassess their view and find the truth that resonates for you. As the saying goes, the truth will set you free. Well, they forgot part 2 of that, didn't they? Once you share your truth, you will definitely feel a lot lighter and more at peace. Now, the truth will set you free was obviously said before Gloria Steinem, but you know, that part 2, it's more than a sequel. It completes the series. You may be holding back the truth from someone to avoid hurting their feelings, which is just Codependence 101. It is now time to open up and be honest with yourself and this person and find a way to share your truth in a calm and loving way. See, that's the point. Just blowing their head off with brutal truth ain't the tea. You're just going to have to repeat the lesson over and over and over again. As His Holiness the Dalai Lama likes to say, truth without compassion is brutality. And you're Cancerians, you could be moody AF. How? Because I know a lot of you, including my mom. Deeply warm, loving, creative, one of the mothers of the zodiac, but man, in a crabby-ass mood. I've had a lifelong case of crabs because you all. It is very important that you share from your heart and honor how you feel so you are not swayed by how the other person receives your truth or how they react. Know that you are being supported at this time as you shine more truth into your life. And light and truth are the same thing spiritually, symbolically, archetypally, blah, blah, blah. Your affirmation: I live and listen to my truth in each moment. For a rebel, did you want to be a golden rebel instead of a lead rebel? More. Deadly sin of greed and possibly gluttony, depending on your mood of the day. All right, so a rebel. Let's move on to the whispers of Lord Ganesha. Truly an honor to have an oracular system that tunes me in to a Hindu god, the elephant-headed Hindu god, usually of success and prosperity and, you know, wonderful, but also incredibly warm and loving, like elephants are. I love them. Earth sign that I am. but mostly known in the West as the remover of obstacles. It's why you often see statues or pictures or what have you, images of Ganesh near the front doors of houses, right, or on the front door itself, to sort of like clear what needs to be cleared before you step in. Thought it'd be hopeful for, you know, Cancerians. You're into your homes, your crab shells, your hermits. Say hi to Herman. Munster, please take a nice deep breath. I love this part so much. Still point. Oh, your gentleness. As I call to the beloved, wow, talk about tuning into the Cancerians. As I call upon the beloved Lord Ganesh, elephant-headed Hindu god, remover of obstacles, blesser of the way, clearer of the way. Please, if we think of those three atoms that are in lead that are not in gold, and see them as obstacles, which is what this oracle deck seems to be about. It does seem to be about that particular aspect. Please, what is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power, your oracle message to help the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs remove the obstacles, do the alchemy from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, with the rebel archetype in the 8th, hermit in the crown, 9 of flames, the wanderer in the 3rd eye, Libra, mother of blades, cardinal air in the throat, 7 of flames, victory in the heart, Apollo, the sun, solar plexus, the emperor, the sacrum, the empress, the root chakra, with the higher self saying to focus on that throat chakra. Please, what's your message, beloved one? Thank you in advance for the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross-watchers watching this video and receiving this timeless chakra read. Childlike expression. It's a little baby Ganesh. Oh my god! Literally. Oh, cute. Love what they did with his hair. It's so cool. Work. Just work. The Make-A-Wig Foundation. No. See, when I get together with Cancerians, particularly old friends, the humor, and even my mom, and just the cardinal water, it just goes nuts. So much fun. Donate to the Make-A-Wig Foundation for drag queens and others who need it. Card number 12, childlike expression. I think you're getting a touch of it here and now in my heart. In truth, within every soul exists an aspect known as their inner child. Oh, our Cancerians gonna have to mother their own inner children. Wow, that would change the world overnight if all y'all did it all at once. You can champion your inner child's emotional life by listening carefully to what you need and want in your own heart, because there is victory there. See how these reads work? You may have been taught to give up your own desires for the sake of others. Nah. This is not necessary. Ganesha is bringing the guidance that not acknowledging your desires and needs takes away from your life force and defeats your spirit. As a child, you are a sensory expert. It's now time to re-stimulate your inner child's ability to look, listen, and touch, and explore the world in order to reconnect with your own emotions, which, you know, means you're gonna get triggered, but that's part of it, right? That's the stuff that's buried down deep. That's the shadow. So this feels like this could be a rebel child archetype, baby. The landscapers are here. I can talk over them. This is too important. Find patience and joy in simple things. Take a step away from acquiring material things and take pleasure in the wisdom of your own soul. Love, respect, and honor your inner child, allowing time for play in whatever mode that pleases you, be it socializing, singing, yoga, traveling, taking a walk, dancing, meditating, or writing. This is how your inner child operates. It knows no boundaries, holds no expectations, and loves unconditionally. That is the innocence of our own heart. And so what does it take to guard the innocence of your own heart in these times that we're going through? I mean, just a fucking pandemic alone. Right? You kiss the wrong person. Let alone the minky pigs. Beware the minky pigs. This childlike thing. Look, there's so many avenues and variations on inner child work. Unfortunately, in the 90s, it got a real toxic reputation. People saying, my inner child doesn't like you. I'm like, your inner child needs time out then, right? No, it is about the wounds that the inner child remembers everything. Every aspect. So it's in the subconscious. It's just trying to process all of that. And a lot of its heart's desires have been heartbroken, right? There's a victory here, but I'm telling you, the emotional part for a water sign, particularly a cardinal creative water sign, yeah. Think about how many creations you have mothered through, right? You conceive the idea, you gestate the idea, you then labor on the idea, and you give birth to it. It's the same language as pregnancy, obviously. So for you to mother yourself, and believe me, there's inner child work from the straight up, like, Jungian, right? Psychological, clinical, all the way to tinfoil hat, woo-woo land, doing it, you know, in a pyramid and in a tinfoil hat, chanting and whatever. And hey, you do you. I've traversed it, right? I do my inner child work pretty much all the time. Just closing my eyes, putting my hands on my heart, and talking to that child, talking to my heart chakra as the inner child. And I learned that from Matt Kahn, and he's the next card down. Bookie book drop. It's a good read, guys. Crabs. Let's get our last card down. The Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. That was a pretty good segue, guys. The Ascended Masters. Now, I could say the Ascended Masters of Action because it is a rebel the rebel is an action family archetype, but you could be rebelling against anything here. If it is indeed family dynamic, if Empress ends up being father and Empress being mother, like maybe in your life symbolically or literally, then it would make sense. Childlike expression. Shit. Alright. Please take a nice deep breath. This is just wacky. It's so online. Still point. It's on fleek, whatever that means. Still point. Alright. Ascended Masters of Healing. I think that's pretty clear. Healing and victory and justice and all of that with the archetypal side of fries. Please, beloved ones, what is the perfect healing mantra for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, so that they can heal and align the rebel archetype? They can alchemize it with childlike expression and the truth. The Crone, Hermit in the 7th, the Wanderer in the 3rd eye, Libra, right, that Libra balance dynamic, Cardinal creative air, so really creating a way through this, perhaps choice by choice, in the throat chakra, which is indicated here with the card of truth, the throat chakra with victory in the heart, Apollo in the solar plexus, the Zeus, the sun, Apollo in the solar plexus. Garbage truck is here. Be right back. I mean, a little weed whacking I can deal with, but Autobot self-flagellation right in front of the window, that's a little bit loud. Think about it. Autobot self-flagellation. Never mind. This is why I'm moving my house. This is why I'm moving upstate. And I'm looking for land with trees around it, right? So I get some of that solitude and silence to do this work. So, Ascended Masters, please, what is a perfect healing mantra? Apollo in the solar plexus, Zeus in the sacrum, Demeter in the root chakra here. It feels like they got a full deck, so to speak. So the perfect healing mantra to help them align all of this, do the alchemy, and bring their chakras into balance for their well-being and for the well-being of all. In this Timeless Chakra Read, embodying my soul, I have a right to be excited, and I think you do. And what part of you wants to be excited more than your inner child? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But what does the inner adult do? Well, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. You might not get what you want. You might get, and where do you get that from? I don't know. Maybe your parents or a patriarchal society and your experience of the physical world in terms of your own creativity. I mean, shit. Come on. This is it. But you have a right to be excited, whether you choose to fight for your right to party. Because it is a risk, right? Having hope in anything nowadays. Now that the sun may appear to rise in the east and set in the west, it doesn't. The planet turns. But, hope for another day. I think that, although tomorrow is promised to no one. Let me read you this. Embodying the soul. I have a right to be excited. More. When your soul is embodied, you are grateful to be alive. You are aware of life as a precious opportunity to experience the frequency of your own light through the unique attributes, characteristics, and senses of a person. In other words, you are a divine being as an immortal soul on a hero's journey in a human body. Your own frequency of light. That means that every soul cannot, there is only ultimately one soul, but in the illusion of separation, we need to get down here, right? The higher self incarnated as created souls, right? The higher self experiences all the lives of those souls simultaneously. How's that for math? No thanks. So that we could have this human experience. So your own unique frequency, like your own YouTube channel, right? Like your own frequency band on the radio. I'm definitely more FM than AM, I think. As your soul becomes embodied, you are excited to be a part of life's cosmic plan, no matter how bad things seem. And look, I've been there, but that doesn't come from the mind. Oh, no. Particularly, I would think with the Knight of Flames, you're looking for something, you're wandering around. Again, not all who wander are lost. This is about the passion of the heart, right? To get, well, but you know what? I've been on this planet before. Maybe I'll be on it again after all this cuckoo has gone by and things have calmed down for a couple of thousand years. Like maybe I'll come back. Let's see what they're doing with chocolate because, there seems to be innovations in the field, that kind of thing. Something to be excited about. This mantra is ideal for developing courage. Courage, mon amour. Finding your inner voice. And feeling safe in your body. With the Empress backing you up, it feels like it might be totally okay for you to feel safe in the body. You got fertile earth under your feet with the Empress Demeter there. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put it together in what we, over on Patreon, started calling a blessimation. It's a combination. It's a combination of a blessing and a summation. We're going to do it for realsies because I only do blessings for realsies. Even when people sneeze, God, Goddess, all that is, bless you. It's a bit much at Starbucks. Mask, right? Reflex. But then we'll chit-chat a little bit at the end of that if you want, as I release the Cancerian Connective Collection. As I release the Cancerian Collective, because this vibe is very high, and I don't need to carry this around all day, so I usually do that by letting the goofy fly. Let's see what comes out of my mouth, shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Torch of Archangel Ariel. Still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Signs, and Cross Watchers watching this video and receiving this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need to align, heal, balance their chakras, alchemize the lead to gold, the pain to peace, etc., with the rebel archetype in the 8th chakra, so that they may challenge authority to affect social change. And sometimes that's on a local level, sometimes it's governmental, sometimes it's just within the politics of a job or a family, what have you, that they may reject spiritual systems that do not serve their inner needs, which there seems to certainly be here with the hermit. I mean, the hermit crab in the crown chakra there. It's a journey they can only take by themselves. There might be some tribal backlash as a result of this in some way, shape, or form, but in their third eye, they're wandering, but they're not lost. They're almost there. They're one flame away from the completion of desire here, at least mentally, and that they be fair, that they be balanced with the Libra energy of the throat chakra, balancing justice and mercy and severity, Kabbalistic tree of life. And that in the throat chakra, that they can gallop ahead, that they can express themselves, find their inner voice, embody that soul there with their choices and their decisions, as long as they can keep it on the up and up, all in the daylight, clarity, healthy solar plexus energy, putting themselves out in the world and maybe radiating like the sun, their light shining at full capacity, their individual frequency of soul vibe doing its thing in the world. And then maybe that really moves some lightning, makes some things happen with the emperor there in that second chakra, that maybe they're the ones that throw lightning, or they're in a combination or relationship with someone who is, but that is a very dominant vibe in the second chakra, but it is grounded, it is balanced. This could also be the mother or the wife, obviously, as the emperor could be the boss or the husband or the boyfriend, what have you. Not really about bodily gender, but that is the divine masculine card and the divine feminine card with the sun. So you have the mother, the father, the son, S-U-N, here in their physical world. So it makes sense that they need to really focus on that third chakra of speaking the truth and finding the truth and seeking the truth, particularly if they're going to rebel against something. Make sure it's for something that is truth based, not just what appears to be true, like the sun rising in the east and setting in the west, which doesn't really happen because the planet rotates on its own axis, revolves around a large. Okay, got it. With that childlike expression, to allow that child some breathing room, to give it the love that it never got, can receive the frequency of our own individual love that only we can give it, even if everybody else gives us the love that we want. If we don't give ourselves that particular frequency that only we can give it, it becomes problematic, particularly so that they can embody their soul based in truth, based in the innocence of their own heart. And hey, not everybody needs to know about this. They're Cancerians, but they certainly have a right to be excited, so let them be excited, step by step, baby steps if necessary, that they can heal and feel and make their way through this, bring together this alignment of energies within them, removing the obstacles with childlike expression. And it is indeed throat chakra expression, that they may be so blessed that everyone in their lives that they come in contact with, all who see them, be blessed, be moved forward for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So let it be done. And so it is. It was a great reading. Did you think it was a great reading? Did you feel it connect and hit the thumbs up? Look, I'm not monetized on YouTube anymore, so it doesn't matter on that aspect, but it helps other people, A, see my work, which might as well. I'm not going to stop doing it anyway. As well as helps other Cancerians and cross-watchers find it. That's just how it works. And if you want more of me here on the tube of you, hit the subscription button. I am moving my home to a place without maybe so much beep, beep, beep while I'm working. Toot, toot, yeah, it's okay, but the beep beep's a bit much. Then subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I am going to be moving, and I'm still going to try and put out content every day, even if it's just from my cell phone with the cats in the car screaming at the top of their lungs. We'll see. And if you want the deeper dive, the more magic, the more miracles, the more mysticism, the more Malcolm Patreon on Patreon. It's about right there, right? Patreon.com/drawingthecircle. Come check out my humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, and gods, goddesses is my subscription tiers right now. I'm going to be adding more as I go along, and I love it over there. Remember, cup of coffee, bathrobe, me, my hair doing what it's going to do, from the couch, from the laptop, talking about the day's astrology, always ending with a prayer, a little blessing, a little something. I love kicking off my my day that way, and I know my patrons do too, so come Patreon on Patreon. And if you want to book me for a private reading, simple enough, there is a video in the description box Talks Booking a Reading with Mal. Explains it all for you, just like Clarissa. Gonna keep that joke for a little bit longer, I see. It seems. Otherwise, seriously, I love you, my crab cakes. Wishing you the very best. This is the crab dance. The very best and the very blessed. What do you mean by that? In your chakric work here, comment if you feel it, because I love to read the comments. Just keep them on the up and up with that sun card. I love you. Hang in there, my crab cakes. Hell, farewell, and blessed be.